Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Charlie. On today's episode, I'm going to be showing y'all how to make my delicious New Orleans style crab dip from scratch. Now, this recipe is made with Louisiana's own blue crab puree along with some cream cheese, mayonnaise, and seasonings. And once we assemble it into the baking pan, we top it with some pepper jack cheese and green onions. And from there, we put it into the broiler part of the oven until the cheese is melted and has a nice golden brown on top. You can also bake it as well. Now, it wouldn't be right to make crab dip if you didn't have some good old bread, chips, or crackers to go right along with it. Now, this recipe, you can get about 10 or more servings. It all depends on how much dip you make, how much bread or chips or crackers that you have. So it's great for like a small gathering or party or anything like that. Wonderful crab flavor, cheesy, creamy, and absolutely delicious. So without further ado, let's get started. Alright, here's all you'll need to make your New Orleans style crab dip. Let's get started with our ingredients. You'll need 14.5 ounces of blue crab puree, and this is how it looks here. Still frozen, so I gotta thaw that out. And along with that, you will need 2 8-ounce packages of cream cheese at room temperature. You will also need some mayonnaise, 1 lemon, salted butter, pepper jack cheese, and you will also need some shredded Parmesan cheese. And for your seasonings, you will need some green onions, garlic, salt, black pepper, Tony Chachere's Creole seasoning. Now, if you don't have this, you can use the Zatarain's Creole seasoning or the Slapping Mama Cajun seasoning. You will also need some smoked paprika. And to go along with your crab dip, you're going to need some French bread. Now, this is 5 ounces in weight of French bread that I have here. You can use any type of chips, like regular chips, tortilla chips, crackers, whatever you want to use. You can use that, okay? And to bake your crab dip, you will need a regular standard 9-inch round pie pan. Now, you can also use a casserole dish or whatever you can find. You can use that, okay? And there we have it. All right, let's get straight to it. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started by chopping up 4 ounces in weight of green onions. And I'm going to chop up the ends to the green onions as well. Now you want to make sure that you separate the green portion of the green onions from the green onion ends. Okay, here I have 2 small to medium cloves of garlic, and I cut them in half. Here I have a garlic press, and from there I'm going to press the garlic. And there we go. Alright, here I have a shredder, and from there I'm going to shred 5 ounces in weight of the pepper jack cheese. And there we go. Preheat your fire to medium heat. Alright, let's get started with making our crab dip. So in this large saucepan, I let it get hot for about 1 to 2 minutes. And to that, I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of salted butter. I'm going to spread the butter around the saucepan. And I'm going to let the butter melt. Let's add some seasoning. I'm going to add the chopped green onion ends. Give this a quick stir. Let this saute for about 3 minutes, stirring occasionally. Add your pressed garlic. Next, add your 14.5 ounces in weight of blue crab puree. Give this a quick stir. Now let's add some seasoning. Add 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt, 1/8 of a teaspoon of black pepper, 1/4 teaspoon of Tony Chachere's Creole seasoning, and 1/4 teaspoon of smoked paprika. Give this a quick stir. Let this simmer for about 2 to 3 minutes, stirring occasionally. Add your 2 8-ounce packages of cream cheese, softened and at room temperature, right on in there, and 1/4 cup of mayonnaise. Stir all your ingredients together. Now, to make sure that the ingredients are incorporated, I'm going to take a whisk and stir all the ingredients together. That's going to ensure that everything comes together. Okay, next I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of Parmesan cheese. And we're going to add just a little bit more seasoning. We're going to sprinkle about 1/8 of a teaspoon of Tony Chachere's Creole seasoning and 1/8 of a teaspoon of smoked paprika. I'm going to take a large lemon and cut it in half. Here I have a mesh strainer. I'm going to just place it over the saucepan. And from there I'm going to squeeze half of a lemon. Now you're going to squeeze about 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. Give this a quick stir. Let this simmer for about 3 to 4 minutes, stirring occasionally. And from there, our crab dip filling is ready. Now I'm going to go ahead and turn my fire off. Okay, here we have our pie pan. And we're going to add our prepared crab dip right on in there. Next, I'm going to take a spatula and just spread the dip around the pan as evenly as possible. Set your oven broiler to high. Next, I'm going to add my shredded pepper jack cheese. I'm going to add all 5 ounces that I shredded. I'm going to just add that all right on top of that. And here we have some green onions that we chopped. We're just going to sprinkle that right on top. Place this into your broiler part of your oven. And you're going to let this sit in there for about 2 to 3 minutes. You want to make sure you check it every minute to ensure that it doesn't burn at the top. Alright, it's been about 2 to 3 minutes now. As you can see, that cheese has melted. It has a nice little golden brown on top. That's exactly what we're looking for. So we're going to remove the crab dip out of the broiler part of our oven. Now, if you're baking this, alright, now I'm going to go ahead and preheat my oven to 375 degrees. Place this into a preheated 375 degree oven on the middle rack. Bake this for 15 to 20 minutes. Now for some quick tips, you're going to let this cool for about 10 to 15 minutes before serving. If it does happen to get too cold, you can actually put it back into the oven 325 degrees for about 15 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes, and you'll be good to go, or until the crab dip is warm again. Okay, here we have our loaf of French bread. This is about 5 ounces in weight. And from there, I'm going to take a serrated knife and I'm just going to slice the bread into thick slices. Alright, I place my sliced French bread onto this 11 by 17 inch baking pan. Here in this pan, I've melted 2 tablespoons of salted butter. Now I want to let y'all in on a little secret. Shh, don't tell nobody. I'm going to sprinkle about 1/4 teaspoon of granulated garlic. And from there, I'm just going to take a pastry brush and just give that a quick stir. Next, we're going to take the garlic butter mixture and we're going to dab it onto each slice of French bread. I'm going to place this into my broiler part of my oven for about 1 minute. You want to make sure that you check every 30 seconds to make sure that the bread doesn't burn. And there we go. After 1 minute, our bread is nice and toasted. Let this cool for about 5 minutes, and after that, it is ready to be served. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. New Orleans style crab dip, made by New Orleans native. You can find this recipe along with all of my other recipes at www.charliethecookandrews.com. I'm also on Facebook, Instagram, and on Twitter under the name Charlie the Cook Andrews. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and take a bite of this. So here I have my bread. So one thing you have to do is you just take the bread, you dip it into the crab dip just like that. And after that, you eat it. Yes. Man, oh man, this is nice. The crab dip is nice, creamy, cheesy, has just the right amount of seasonings to it. And the bread is nice, has a nice little crunch on the outside, soft on the inside, y'all. This is a great appetizing dish that's going to please all your guests at the parties. So, give it a try. Anyways, I hope you all enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. And until next time, have a good one. Peace.